Hi everyone, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. In this video, I'm going to show you how to pick a signature fragrance, to pick something that actually can be with you for the rest of your life and serve as your one and only fragrance, or perhaps just your one and only fragrance for a certain period. And we're going to get into that more in this video. For those of you who are new here, my name is Ashley. I work and live in Paris as an apprentice perfumer for a major fragrance company. I have my Master's of Science in Scent Design and Creation, and I've worked now in the fragrance industry for about 10 years in various roles, from fragrance curator to fragrance creator now. So if you're interested in fragrance videos and content from an informed perspective, consider subscribing to the channel. So all about signature scents. I'm sure all of you know someone that has a signature scent. For me, that's my mom. Growing up, she always wore Trésor, and I still smell that fragrance and associate it with her. So if you're someone that wants a signature scent, it can be kind of daunting to pick something and commit to it, because a big part of having a signature scent is committing to wearing it. So many of us who watch fragrance channels and reviews, we love having a fragrance wardrobe. And I'm definitely more of a fragrance wardrobe person than a signature scent person. But even if you're not normally a signature scent person, I do think there are moments where it's worth having a signature scent. So this could be when you're embarking on a new stage in your life. Maybe you just got into a new university, maybe you just got a new job, maybe you moved to a new country. I find it's really nice to start, at least in the beginning, wearing the same fragrance to kind of mark this occasion in your life, so that, when you go back and smell this fragrance, it reminds you of this wonderful period. And this is also true for like vacations. I love having a fragrance just for a vacation, to mark that memory, because scent is, directly linked with memory. Another thing, or another time you might want a fragrance to be a signature, is of course for a special event like a wedding. And definitely not every fragrance should be a wedding fragrance. And this will kind of get into that as well. So maybe this isn't a lifetime signature fragrance necessarily, but definitely the tips in this video will also help you pick a lifetime signature fragrance if that's what you're looking for. But if it's not what you're looking for, if you're looking for a signature for a certain amount of time, this will also give you that. So why can't every fragrance be a signature fragrance? Shouldn't I just be able to pick whatever fragrance out of my collection or at the store and then just wear it and have it be my signature fragrance? Not exactly, and it also depends what you're looking for out of your signature fragrance. So if you want to be recognized by this fragrance, if you want this to be the fragrance that, like I have my story where I associate my mom with Trésor, if you want, the people around you to associate you with a fragrance, they have to be able to smell it, right? So already, number one, if you're looking for a signature fragrance, it has to be smellable, of course, and that already rules out a number of fragrances on the market, because even if you're looking at a fragrance with moderate longevity and projection, if it's disappearing in 4 hours, and this is just my personal opinion, it's not going to be a signature. It's not going to reach the people around you, because realistically, it is hard to spray a fragrance in the middle of the day, even if you're an enthusiast, just to remember to do it, and just like hectic and busy lives, to remember to reapply your fragrance after lunch can be a bit difficult. And kudos to you if you're able to do it. But for me, generally I'm spraying once in the morning. And so you want a fragrance that's going to last that whole day with you. And ideally, if you're already getting that longevity, if you fell asleep, you would also smell it in the morning. So you want something that's close to beast mode. Okay, so we've covered longevity. Now, what you need out of this fragrance is also a fragrance to take you from day to night, because with a signature, you're going to be wearing this a lot of the time. Now, it depends what you want out of a signature, but whether you are trying to be recognized by this fragrance or mark a momentous period in your life, you want to be wearing this fragrance all the time. And that means day to night, because if you're switching up your fragrance, again, then your memories associated with it are going to be with a different fragrance, and also the people recognizing you are going to be with a different fragrance, and it doesn't work that way. And this is again why signature scents are not for everyone, but why it's also interesting to have a signature scent, again, not just for life, but for time periods in your life when maybe, you're too busy to put on fragrance all the time. If you're doing a big move, if you're starting a new job, maybe you don't want to be rotating through your collection all the time. You want to grab and go. You want a fragrance that, again, people can identify you by. So at this point in the video, you're probably wondering, okay, so can any of my beast mode fragrances be a signature fragrance? I think possibly, if you can take them to day to night. I think that's also something that's very important about this, and that's not true of all beast mode fragrances, as sometimes they tend to be really sweet or dark and woody. You have to be comfortable wearing this fragrance daytime and nighttime, and that's a very personal thing. I don't think it's inappropriate to wear a nighttime fragrance during the day. It just kind of depends on your personality and how comfortable you feel with it. Because if it doesn't feel right to you, if it really just feels like a nighttime fragrance and you don't want to wear it during the day, then that's not going to be pleasurable. So you want it to be something very versatile. I think it's actually certainly a good start if you have a beast mode fragrance that you can take from day to night. Generally, in the composition of these beast mode fragrances, there is materials that have signature. It's not the pretty materials that have the longevity and the power. It's the controversial materials. It's the it's the materials that by themselves don't smell that great. And now the perfumer's job is to wrap them in all the beautiful things to smell great. But there's already kind of this signature in there. If smelling unique is important to you, if you're a man, I would choose a fragrance that has kind of a different character than maybe these Sauvage, and that's not to say anything negative about Sauvage. I actually have a friend, and that was his signature, one of my friends from perfumery school, and it worked amazing on him. And so this is kind of a general thing, but if you feel like something works for you, it probably does. But again, if you're set on smelling really unique, maybe stay away from that and go towards something more woody, ambery, whatever you feel smells different and stands out. And if you're a woman, I find right now the trend seems to be towards very heavily maltol fragrances. Think La Vie est Belle or Victor and Rolf Flower Bomb, which already smell very similar to each other. I can do a whole video on scents I feel like are worth making your signature scent as well. I just felt like this is one of those things that can be so personal. I would rather give you guys the guidelines that I personally use when picking out scents, and I was thinking about doing another video like this on how to pick your scent for the season and the guidelines that I use when picking a spring, summer, winter, fall fragrance. That way you guys have a bit more autonomy and you don't have to rely on reviews. As I work as a perfumer, I feel like I've gained so many tips and tricks in creating a fragrance, if I'm looking to create a signature, if I'm looking to create something more seasonal. And so I can kind of point you guys in the right direction of how to develop your own fragrance personality and be able to have good taste in fragrance without relying on reviews. So if you're interested in more of those types of videos, let me know. Or if you would prefer more guidance with like top and best lists, I'm also really happy to do those. Please let me know what fragrances you believe have signature. Have you ever had a signature fragrance? If so, what was it? I think even for us who have fragrance wardrobes, it's still good to have a couple signature type fragrances in there for those moments to fall back on, because sometimes you don't always want to be rotating through your fragrance wardrobe. Sometimes you just want something tried and true, and I think that's also a reason to have a signature in your fragrance wardrobe, even if you're not using it like a traditional signature that you wear for the rest of your life. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.